Hello everyone, welcome to the War Zone. I'm Scruffy, and this is Scruffy Tales. And yes indeed, you read that correctly. Ukraine conducts a motorbike raid into Kursk. Let's take a look at it, and we're also going to take a look at Batyr and Toretsk. Let's head on to the video. I need to highlight this real quick. We are using Mayakovsk 723's map, Kursk, Tetkino area where Ukraine is conducting, and this is from the 21st, that was yesterday, and this is apparently a Ukrainian motorcycle attack into Kursk and the small village of Nyvyput around the railway here. So apparently Ukraine launched a successful motorcycle assault into Kursk. Let's see what this says. So it's from a Telegram. I don't have a Telegram account, so I couldn't watch the video. There is apparently video footage of this assault. And what it says here, the first motorcycle assault by the Ukrainian armed forces was successful. The assault infantry completed their combat mission. The assault operation took place at night, and the fighters were equipped with night vision devices. Quickly entering enemy positions, they conducted a clearance before returning back near the settlement of Nyvyput, Kursk region. So it was a raid. They pushed in. Proof of concept. They pushed in at night with night goggles when the Russians weren't prepared, conducted a raid, and then skedaddled out of town. I talked about this in the video when I described motorcycle tactics used by the Russians. This was one of the effective ways the Russians were using motorcycles for quick raids at dawn when the enemy wasn't prepared. Move a cavalry raid right out of the 19th century. Pushing fast, cause confusion, disturbance, and then get out of town after you scored some kills. And there's, even though the enemy has superior numbers, and most of them are asleep, and they can't bring enough guns to bear to inflict damage, casualties on the raiders, and then they're gone. Classic hit and run, and that is what appears to have happened here. Proof of concept that you can use motorcycles for these kinds of assault. And nothing new. It's all about speed, aggression, and firepower, and taking the enemy by surprise. Here you can see the original SAS from World War II, relying on light vehicles, a lot of firepower, and speed and aggression to have an effect on the enemy. And this goes back centuries. This is nothing new. You used to rely on cavalry to do these raids. Then it became specialized units in jeeps or buggies in the modern day and age. Special forces operating deep behind enemy lines. Also Jaegers on foot. Or Jaegers, special forces being deployed by helicopter to have the speed, and then the aggression is when the units themselves move into position and assault. Speed, aggression, firepower is the three cornerstones. And if you do it like we just saw here in a raid at night, taking the enemy by surprise, yes, if this is what the Ukrainians want to do with the motorcycles, it can be highly effective. And this proof of concept seems to have proven yet again that a small force that moves with speed and aggression and brings firepower, then you can have an effect on a much more stronger and a superior foe. That was really interesting. I didn't plan on talking about this because I was gonna make a video about Toretsk, and then I noticed this and realized this was a motorcycle raid caught on video. By the looks of it, I haven't seen it myself because I don't have a Telegram channel, but you need to try and check that out if you can find it. Not much happening elsewhere. There's back and forth as always. Important is to note that Batyr, highly contested. Here you have on the 22nd, this is today, Ukrainian troops fighting in the southern end of town. This town is highly contested, and like I said a month ago almost, this would be the next big battle, and it would be a tough nut for the Russians to crack. And as you can see, Ukraine is providing a lot of problems for the Russians as they're trying to push in. Russia bombed Bahatir every day for almost a month. Airstrikes, artillery and drone strikes before they attempted assault. And then Ukraine has countered and pushed the Russians back. This town is more than likely highly contested. You have a lot of Ukrainians and Russians in here. And probably confusing as hell with the enemies in every other basement, and there are probably no clear lines of contact here. Every other building is probably neutral or held by the enemy or held by 3 or 4 friendlies, depending on which side you're fighting for, obviously. Probably a lot of confusion, chaos, and heavy firefights ongoing in Bahatir. And so that is Bahatir. Not much else going on here. Russia is pushing slightly north along the river out of Novolenivka. And what I was planning on talking about is Toretsk, because we are seeing Russian artillery strikes here. If we move over to Andrew, yeah, this is Andrew's map. You can see here in the contested area, lots of artillery strikes or Russian BMP shelling. Maybe it is Russian autocannons firing across the fields at presumably Ukrainian positions along here. Is it? Yeah, you can see a lot of stuff happening here in around these windbreaks. Is that an indication that Russia is pushing or that Ukraine is pushing? Because here in Kursk, there has been a lot of Ukrainian activity. Ukraine has pushed into the outskirts of the mining facility. We have seen Russian drone strikes in this part of town. Ukraine has made an attempt to push in. Is this part of that push? Is Ukraine making a larger effort here north of Toretsk? Maybe trying to come in to this forested area here between Toretsk and Druzhba. Is that it? Unknown. What I do believe at this point is we haven't seen a lot of activity here for the last 4 or 5 days. I think that the Ukrainians that pushed into the center of town, they might have been wiped out. We're not seeing Russian artillery strikes here in these high-rise buildings anymore. Ukraine was unable to push in with the support for these men in the center here. Sorry for that phone. Anyway, jumping over to Mayakovsk 73, we're talking about maybe Ukraine pushing between Dachne, or out of Dachne between Druzhba and Toretsk. Take a look at this. Ukrainian artillery strikes on the 22nd, this day. A whole barrage aimed at these high-rise buildings here at the outskirts, right on the edge, rather, of this forested area here that I was talking about here. I don't know, is Ukraine trying to do something? Oh, I'm unsure. Russia is assaulting Ukrainian positions up here. Ukraine is launching massive artillery barrages in the center of town here. And here you can see this is where Russia sent in troops to clear out the building, unsure of who is in control of that building. Russia has lost vehicles. Russia's sent in drones into this part of town. Something is happening here. But too late to save these guys. I think these guys are all dead or captured at this point. And this push here, too little, too late to help out the guys in the middle here, as it appears. I mean, I was thinking about this the other day, that maybe when they started cornering off this part of town, with taking buildings here and along this street and here, my idea was that they wanted to keep Russians away from this part of town. Maybe it's the reverse. Maybe they went in to make sure that Russians over here could not be pulled out to reinforce this part of town. Is that it? When we started seeing the activity up here, I kind of was playing with that thought. Maybe I got it the wrong way around. They didn't want to keep this part of town away from over here. Maybe it was the reverse. Maybe they wanted this part of town away from reinforcing the center. Maybe, I don't know, because things are happening over here. Maybe Ukraine didn't push in quickly enough to help these guys, but something is definitely happening here at Kursk and the wooded areas outside of Kursk. Really interesting. Really interesting. Maybe the fight for Toretsk is not over after all. So there I was thinking I was going to make a video about Toretsk and the things happening there with the Ukrainian shelling and not reaching the center of town. And all of a sudden I realized, holy shit, Ukraine made a motorcycle assault apparently, and it was successful. A successful motorcycle raid conducted by Ukraine. I mean, this war is Mad Max on a level Hollywood would not even imagine. When they do start making movies about this war 10 years from now, 20 years from now, those are gonna be insane. With all the turtle tanks, motorcycles, donkeys, drones chasing everyone, it's gonna be wild. Jesus. Anyway, that's gonna have to be it. I hope I'll see you in the next one. As always, go på marsch, Ukraine, and give them hell.